Hey Gemini, welcome back to Everyday Oracle 1111. Follow, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel in my bio, all that good jazz. But I'm excited because today's message must be very important. We got the same card come up out of two different decks. So how beautiful is that out of 88 cards, you got two of the same cards, which read perception. So obviously, maybe we need to look at something differently. And I say we because, hey, I'm a Gemini sun sign. So I'm going to take this message to heed. Something tells me it's going to be beneficial. I already know. It's the first thing I noticed when the first card came out was perception out of the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. It's totally green, first of all, and it's a woman with the emerald. That's our birthstone. So there's the synchronicity right there. And then the green chakra is all about the heart chakra, which is very relevant because Venus has been retrograde right now for the last month or so. Venus, which of course is the planet of love, beauty, harmony, money. Can't forget that one. But it's been retrograde in Gemini since May 13th. And it just turned direct or stopped being retrograde on June 25th. So if we have been experiencing any issues or setbacks or a closer examination of the topics on love, beauty, or money, that may have been why you might have been going through it. It's just making us, when planets go retrograde, we're supposed to slow down and take special heed. Start thinking more on the aspects of those related topics, especially wherever Venus is relevant in your birth chart at the time of your birth. So for me specifically, I'm a Gemini sun sign and I'm a Gemini Venus sign. So definitely have been feeling the effects of the Venus retrograde. Actually, there's been some good and bad aspects in that. So I'm not going to complain though, but obviously maybe I haven't read the book descriptions of the card, but maybe I need to look at things differently and change my perception. In between the two perception cards was the word communication, which of course is definitely Gemini's forte, with Mercury being its ruler planet, just like Virgo. And speaking of Mercury, Mercury is retrograde right now. It just went retrograde June 18th. It will be retrograde until July the 12th. So issues with communication certainly can be, something that we're all experiencing right now in the collective. It's retrograde in Cancer. So again, with our methodical processes slowing down for Mercury retrograde, it has us thinking about the issues of the Cancer sign, which is again all about love, money. No, I'm sorry, that's Venus. With Cancer, it's all about the home front, the mothering, emotional side. Cancer is a water sign, so again that deals with family, home, maternal instincts. And with the Cancer solar eclipse that just happened over the past weekend and the new moon in Cancer, and the fact that Mercury retrograde just popped off, I think a lot of us are digging deep into our mental subconscious, hopefully using this energy to cure any internal, inner child issues, and take this time and energy to mother ourselves and think about any things that we need to work on a family or home front. These are all the things that, these planets, again, as above, so below, as within, so without. So, if any of these particular topics of love, money, beauty, family, home, emotional strains, any of those topics weighing hard on you, this is the time to dig deep. Don't project the feelings and blame them on something else, external things, like what's going on in the world or people that's making us feel some type of way. No, we have to look at what the people or the things going on in the world are triggering within us so that we can heal them. Once we heal them, we might stop seeing them so much, or at least stop giving our attention to them and our energy. We don't want nobody living in our heads rent free. So without further ado, let's see what the word perception really means. Again, emerald stone. The heart knows what the eyes cannot see. The legend is a young princess wanders into her untended garden. As she claws through the decaying undergrowth, she finds a brilliant emerald stone. The stone speaks and tells the princess to open an old wooden door. She enters a dark corridor and the door slams shut. Afraid, she moves forward until her hand falls upon another door. It opens to reveal the same garden she left behind, only now it is beautiful, filled with flowers, butterflies, and birds. It is a magnificent and familiar sight. So that alone right there tells us, that's transmutation. When we turn our things that we are afraid of, things that we fear or are negative to us, and we turn them into a positive, that's transmutation, flipping the energy and using it, the energy that was coming at us and to hold us back, or things that are used against us, turning them into things that we can use for our own benefit. Like they always say, when one door closes, another one opens. The inspiration behind this card is often our journey brings us full circle, leaving us to wonder why things happened in the first place. Emerald Stone teaches us to follow through on whatever is before us. Going back is not an option. Ask yourself, what in my life needs tending? How good will I allow myself to feel? The key ideas behind this card is transformation in the heart, change in perception, the unknown, and the promise of a richer experience. Again, key words were beauty, open-heartedness, and appreciation. Again, all things to do with Venus. So now that it is going direct again, Venus has been in Gemini since April the 4th, and it'll be there till August the 8th, I believe. So, that's a long time, 4 months, that she's been in there. And technically, this should be benefiting us. Anytime Venus, again, the planet of goddess, empowering energy, love, beauty, the feminine aspect, these are all good things. So use the energy wisely. The meditation for this card is begin to imagine the emerald stone. When you see it, place it in your untended garden. Feel the waves of the emerald light filling you with courage. Emerald stone may have some thoughts to help you. Listen carefully, and when you are ready, see what has changed. So again, this is a very powerful card that we can use. And since perception came out twice, I'm very curious to see what the second card says that came from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. But again, before that perception fell, communication is in between. So maybe that means that before this communication, we have one perception, and then after we have the communication, our perception changes. Let's see what communication says. It's number 14, which to me is relevant because that means 5. That boils down to 5, and 5 is all about change. So it says, communication is the frequency that supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Communication is the process of sharing information between a sender and a recipient. For humans, this usually takes place through spoken and written words, gestures, behaviors, or touch. But it can also happen through the more subtle languages like chemistry and energetics. Communication is at the core of all relations, whether interpersonal between people or the way in which our inner world and body talk to us. While words have predominantly been the way while words have predominantly been the way humankind has communicated for most of its modern history, the new energy invites us, even requires us, to develop our abilities to receive, translate, and share the messages that arise from the depths within us. Most of these messages will emerge as feelings and intuitive thought, and we might find that the words we have been using for so long hold far more complex and subtle energies than we've ever imagined. And that leads to realizing more expanded and subtle meanings as well. The dolphins, which I believe came up in Gemini's reading recently. So it says the dolphins that swirl inside the 4 circles of this activation are representative of the mastery of relations. They support the awakening and developing of subtle communications while reminding us to keep a playful attitude as we learn these new skills. Now, if it wasn't for the Gemini reading, I think dolphins came up for the Libras. I'm not sure, but now that I think about it, whichever sign it did come up, dolphins came out twice. So it's making me think of this reading. Everything is connected. And again, if you have any interest in prior readings, you just go back through the page at Everyday Oracle 1111. But to keep going, I'm going to read that again because it seems powerful. The dolphins that swirl inside the 4 circles of this activation card are representative of the mastery of relations. They support the awakening and developing of subtle communication while reminding us to keep a playful attitude as we learn these new skills. Because again, Gemini is the child of the zodiac, so stay playful. Meanwhile, the number 4, which we are in a 2020 year, meanwhile, the number 4 represents the form-based world in which we live. It is the reminder of the importance of applying all that we learn to the reality we collectively choose to create on this plane. The triangles in the middle of the card represent the inner union and balance between the feminine and masculine. The upward large triangle symbolizes the connection to source, and the abundant blues indicate an open throat chakra, so clear and unrestricted that communication flows effortlessly. Greens represent the presence of an open heart, allowing love and compassion to pour into the external without restrictions and boundaries. The turquoise represents the high heart, the place where the energies from the heart and those from the throat merge into loving expression of truth, and the surrounding deep purple space represents the origin of clear, insightful perception through an open third eye. Try this. Take a moment to go inside and feel what your body is communicating to you. Is it happy? Is it sad? Is there any pain? There is a great message in pain. Are you listening to that communication? How do you communicate with the outer world? Are you kind and wise with your words when you speak with others? Are you sending positive messages to yourself? Powerful. Perception is number 35. Trying to speed up. I hope I don't run out of time. If you miss any part of this, you can find it on YouTube. Link in the bio. Perception 35. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Perception can be described as the interpretation of that which has entered into our awareness. Upon first glance, the perception activation presents what seems to be chaos in motion. But when we take a better look, we find perfect alignment and synchronicity between the different aspects. We find balance and harmony. The sharp blades of our clear perception cut through the layers of illusion that cover the space between the world of spirit and the world of matter. Together, the blades are neither round nor square, indicating that they are effective in both worlds. Conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all, balance and infinity, purity and freedom. Within this image, they also represent our connection to a larger universe and many planets that revolve around the realities that exist beyond our own. We think we have a clear perception of reality that lies behind the blades, but we discover that the waters of our emotional and physical world are mirrored perfectly by the sky, our spiritual nature. They are exactly the same, again, as above, so below. The square borders represent the form-based reality of our earthbound life, while the lights of our corners remind us of our ability to reach far beyond these illusionary three-dimensional boundaries at any time we choose. When combined with awareness, skill, and precision, these perception blades can cut through illusions and otherwise keep us locked in place. The energy of perception reminds us that the concept itself is biased. Our consciousness determines our perception, and there is no absolute truth in what we perceive. There are always more layers to uncover, more insights to be revealed. The blades of clarity cut through illusions and expand our perception of reality, revealing a path towards harmony and peace in our inner world and in the world around us. The dark borders around the edge indicates the vast and deep universe that often seems mysterious and dark. The blue indicates the clarity of expression that is indeed The blue indicates the clarity of expression that is needed to cut through the illusions of our perceived reality. The red edges indicate our solid foundation in the physical world while in body here on earth. The yellows and golds indicate the inner power that is needed to create a reality that matches our perception of our inner and outer worlds combined. Try this. Close your eyes and think about where the edges of your comfort zone lie. Are you willing to try something new, or do you prefer to stay in your familiar routines? When is the last time you did something completely out of your comfort zone? Right now, for me anyway. Go inside yourself and witness now your perception of reality that can change by just changing your point of focus from the outer to the inner. Beautiful. And we did go over the 15 minutes, so I know the only people really hearing this right now is my people that's following me or subscribe to YouTube or at least watching this on the YouTube channel. So I appreciate you being with me. If you're still with me, give your girl a like right now. Share, subscribe, follow. Go to Everyday Oracle 1111. There was one card left, so I'm sorry my Instagram peeps don't get to see it. Then again, they will see it in the picture, but the last card was never make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. Never make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. And with that, I'm out. I think the message was received. We need to change our perception, use our heart. You know, a great quote that I'm going to end on is always follow your heart. Unless your heart has been broken, and then at that point you do need the mental clarity to choose to lead your heart back to love. Because love is everything. We're just the pieces. You have a great day, Gemini. Love and light.